You wake up. Your first thought isn't about your goals, your business, or your family. Your first thought is your phone. You tell yourself you were just checking the time or clearing a notification, but 20 minutes later, you're still scrolling. Eventually, you sit down at your desk, you open a document, you know exactly what you need to do, but nothing happens. Your mind is scattered. You are staring at a task you told yourself would take 1 hour, and 2 hours later, you haven't typed a single word. So, you make a deal with yourself. Tomorrow I will wake up earlier. Tomorrow I will have more discipline. But tomorrow comes, and it happens again. And slowly, quietly, you start to believe the story that has been running in the background of your life for years. I am lazy. I have no willpower. I'm simply not built for hard work. Listen to me very carefully. That story is wrong. You are not broken. You are not disciplined. Your brain's core operating system, the one that determines how much effort feels worth it, has been systematically dismantled. Let's look at the data, not opinion, hard data. According to research by Asurian, the average adult now checks their phone 96 times per day. That is once every 10 minutes from the moment they wake up to the moment they fall asleep. But each one of those checks is not neutral. Each notification is a deliberately engineered dopamine trigger. You are carrying a neurostimulation device in your pocket, and your biology has been hijacked. Welcome to the Dopamine Reset Protocol. To fix the engine, we must first diagnose the damage, and the damage is measurable. In 2023, a landmark longitudinal study published in JAMA Pediatrics tracked thousands of participants and found that habitual social media checking produced measurable structural changes in two critical brain regions: the ventral striatum, which is your brain's reward prediction center, and the amygdala, your emotional reactivity core. The medical community has finally recognized what this does to high-performing adults. In a peer-reviewed editorial published in Curious, a journal indexed by the National Institutes of Health, scientists formally named this syndrome. They called it digital anhedonia. The clinical definition is the diminished ability to find pleasure in real-world experiences after prolonged digital saturation. It is not clinical depression, it is not burnout, it is a state where your brain still functions, but real-world rewards, like the deep satisfaction of finishing a difficult project or the focused immersion of reading a book, feel flat, hollow, not worth the energy. If that describes your life right now, understand this clearly. That is not a character flaw. That is a neurological injury. And today, we are going to repair it. To understand the repair protocol, you need to understand the mechanism. Your brain maintains two distinct types of dopamine at all times. The first is called tonic dopamine. This is your baseline. This is the steady, constant level of dopamine circulating in your brain right now. It is the neurological floor you stand on. It determines your default mood and your fundamental capacity to endure discomfort. The second is called phasic dopamine. This is the peak. This is the sudden peak that fires when you experience something novel, exciting, or pleasurable. Now, imagine your brain as a highly advanced electrical circuit board. The dopamine receptors in your brain are like delicate fuses. In the natural world, achieving a difficult goal sent a steady, manageable 50-volt current of phasic dopamine through the circuit board. It was balanced. But when you pull out your phone and scroll through short-form videos, you're not getting 50 volts. The algorithms hit your brain with a 500-volt surge of cheap, unearned dopamine. When you spike your dopamine this aggressively, your brain rapidly depletes what neurobiologists call the readily released pool, the reserves of dopamine stored tightly inside your synaptic vesicles. You drain the tank in seconds. But here's the critical biological reality that every productivity guru misses. Every peak lowers your baseline. After that 500-volt spike passes, your baseline does not return to normal. It drops below it. And the depth of that drop is directly proportional to the height of the spike that preceded it.
Why does the baseline drop? Because the human brain demands equilibrium. Think of pleasure and pain as a seesaw in your brain. When you press heavily on the pleasure side with a massive digital dopamine spike, your brain automatically spawns biological gremlins that jump onto the pain side to level it out. But the pleasure fades quickly, while the gremlins of pain stay on the seesaw a little bit longer. This is exactly why you scroll for 20 minutes and then feel vaguely irritable, restless, or anxious the moment you put the phone down. Your neurological floor just dropped. So what do you do when you feel this emptiness at work? You try to force the engine to start. You wake up and check your phone. That is a spike. You open email while drinking a highly caffeinated pre-workout, a spike on top of a spike. You put on a loud motivational podcast while scrolling at a red light. 3 simultaneous spikes. Neuroscientists call this dopamine stacking. You are layering stimulant on top of stimulant just to feel normal. When you hit your delicate circuit board with 500 volts over and over again, your brain executes a defense mechanism. It down-regulates. It shuts off the receptors to protect itself from the surge. It replaces your sensitive fuses with thick, deaf, unresponsive ones. So when you finally sit down to write that business plan, a task that only generates 50 volts of dopamine, the current cannot jump the gap. Your receptors are deaf. You are bankrupting your neurochemistry. We cannot buy discipline. We have to biologically rebuild the circuit board. We have to allow the readily releasable pool to refill and force the receptors to become sensitive again. Here is your Dopamine Reset Protocol. 4 interventions, 0 equipment required. Intervention 1. Protect the first hour. From the moment you wake up until 60 minutes have passed, your phone stays face down in another room. No social media, no email, no news. The first 60 minutes of your day are when your dopamine baseline is most sensitive to calibration. Whatever you expose it to first will set the neurochemical tone for the next 16 hours. If you spike it immediately, the rest of your day will be a foggy struggle. Protect your premium fuel. Intervention 2, the daily fast window. Choose 1 block per day, minimum 90 minutes, and eliminate every stacked stimulus. Work on your most difficult task. No background music, no podcast, no open tabs, just you and the friction. In the beginning, this will feel physically uncomfortable. Your brain will scream for a distraction. That discomfort is not a signal that something is wrong. It is the sensation of your brain withdrawing from chronic overstimulation. Enduring that boredom is the exact prerequisite to neurological recovery. Intervention 3, the 250% protocol. We need to replace synthetic destructive spikes with physiological sustained lifts. According to a study published in the European Journal of Applied Physiology, deliberate cold water immersion at approximately 14 degrees Celsius produced a 250% increase in circulating dopamine levels. But here's the magic: there is no subsequent crash. Unlike the sharp peak and drop of a social media hit, cold exposure generates a slow, sustained dopamine elevation that can persist for hours. It literally lifts your entire neurological floor. End your morning shower with 2 minutes of pure, freezing cold water. Do not layer it with music. Let the cold be the only input. Intervention 4, effort-linked dopamine. A 2023 study from Johns Hopkins University found that dopamine doesn't just reward effort after the fact, it determines in real time whether a task feels possible or impossible. When your baseline is healthy, hard work feels manageable. You must train your brain to stop prepaying the reward. Stop watching a 15-minute video to wake up before you work. Front-load the difficulty. When you feel the pain of a hard task, tell yourself, this friction is the signal that I am growing. By associating the dopamine release with the effort itself rather than the finish line, hard work will progressively, measurably feel easier. Here's the truth that no digital platform wants you to hear. The most dangerous thing about living in the attention economy is not that it steals your time, it's that it steals your standard. It recalibrates your brain to expect constant, effortless stimulation, making the silence of deep work and the delayed gratification of genuine achievement feel like suffering. You were not built for 96 cheap dopamine hits per day. You were built for the sustained, focused pursuit of hard things. The system currently managing your attention was engineered by teams of behavioral economists whose singular objective is to maximize your time on screen. You are not losing a battle of willpower. You are competing against the most sophisticated neurostimulation apparatus in the history of our species. But recognizing that is not an excuse. It's the beginning of a strategy. This is muscle mindset. Guard your baseline, own your attention, upgrade your hardware, protect your software, and I will see you in the next one.